So now that we've elaborated on the Slack risk, we want to talk about some important best practices that help mitigate these risks. The first is enforcing a consistent process for creating channels. What this means is effectively creating guidelines that help you delineate channels names based off of their function and purpose. So Slack gives an example of this in one of their blog posts. They have a hypothetical healthcare organization that names a channel triage-customer-billing for the purposes of remediating any issues with customer billing. And so doing something like this will reduce on confusion and ensure that specific types of sensitive data are limited to the channel that is appropriately delineated for that function. And for good measure, you might want to ensure that this channel is kept private or left on a need to know basis. So in this instance, that would be locking the channel, making it private, making sure that only the people who manage customer billing within the org are on this channel. And you could do that across multiple channel types within your Slack instance. So that data is kept in kind of places where it's limited or supposed to be limited to. The next thing is streamlining your Slack security. This is effectively addressing that Slack retention policy, making a deliberate effort to have a specific Slack retention policy that makes sense for you, because the default, of course, can be very tricky. The default effectively lets data accumulate until the end of your account lifetime. So you want to have deliberately set up retention policies that delete channels after a certain period of time based off of your own compliance and regulatory requirements. Third is ensuring that you have engaged stakeholders who are involved in identifying admins within the org and basically having them provision accounts, make sure that employees are properly educated on best policies, and effectively teaching employees and correcting employees' behavior when employees may violate data security best practices. And fourth, finally, you want to adopt technologies like cloud data loss prevention that allow you to visualize risk and mitigate them in real time. Services like Nightfall are important for admins to leverage in order to enhance their efficiency. Because as you can imagine, it's difficult for an admin to manage an account without the ability, for example, to inspect content, without the ability to actually visualize the risk coming out in real time. And addressing these things with manual action alone can be very difficult. And data loss prevention plays a critical role in helping that limitation.